That's funny. I can't wait to get to that story now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a good one.
It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. Well, listen, welcome again to this. You know, this is number 38 now that we've done this.
38. There we go.
It's outrageous. It's outrageous. But yeah, 38. Welcome to the show. Monday Night Footy from Mulligan's. Welcome to the lads who are sat in Mulligan's watching us now. Hopefully you've not got absolutely drenched walking down there. You were saying it's bad in Hoboken?
It was before. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a light rain right now. I haven't been outside in a little bit, but I could hear it earlier. It was pretty bad.
That's shocking. We are one down again tonight. It's like, didn't you say this before? It's like marriage counselling. Like you're the mediator. 1 week it's Anthony, next week it's me.
I know. It's like it's like we've got a little bit of a divorce going on, and I'm just like, I got my dad one weekend, I got my mom the next weekend. So just, you mix in a little footy talk with that. But one thing I did want to give a shout out to, I don't want to say I'm the motivator to this, but obviously I've been dropping some PSAs out there about picking up the dog poop. Someone actually created an account on Instagram.
I did see this. This is amazing.
And people were actually sending this to me and saying, is this you? Is this you? I can't take credit for it. All I can say is I saw the mayor posted about it. We got groups getting started. So love the word getting spread out there. We're a community here. Let's get the word out. Keep picking up your dog shit. But I love that there's Instagram groups getting created about this.
I honestly thought it was you, I thought when I first saw it, I'm like, God, just look at him, and he's got 2,000 followers already, or something like that. It's great. Listen, you're doing the right. You're working for the people, is what you're doing.
Exactly.
You're working for the people. All right, okay. So, like as usual, if it's just right there at the bottom. If you've got an opinion, if you want to come after us a little bit. I mean, listen, I put a Tottenham shirt on the wall today for obvious reasons. We've got a lot to pick apart from that. I wasn't here last week after some of the other unfortunate stuff with Liverpool, but I'm here today to take it on the chin, so to speak. If you've got anything you want to stick in the comments, fire away. The usual, like and subscribe to us on YouTube, Monday Night Footy at Mullies, and then on Instagram as well as Monday Night Footy Pod. But yeah, get involved. There's only 2 of us tonight, so, if we might need a little bit of moral support along the way, but we'll see where we go. We'll see where we go with it. I'm sure
Anthony's going to jump in the comments at some point.
I would like to think so. He's here in spirit.
Away from that long.
Well, there's something's going to get said soon where he's just going to be like itching to get forward and he's going to jump in. I definitely think. So here's one for you. So I got a couple of questions.
Yeah,
so I wanted hopefully for people to fight over and this, that, and the other. I've got 2 tonight. So the first one is going to be a question that I think is. Again, it's sneaky difficult, but it's gettable. But it's you might make you think about it. So again, if you're in the pub, watching it at home, crack it into the comments and we'll give you the answer in about 5-10 minutes time once we've been through this past weekend's games. The question is, and it's very Arsenal centric, which you know what, we've got to hold our hands up, they're doing all right. So the question is, which 2 teams did Arsenal not beat during their invincible season? Which 2 teams did Arsenal not beat in their invincible season? So if you think ping it in the comments. We might put the right and wrong answers up on the screen, but, sometimes that triggers a little bit of response. So we'll see what people come up with. So what did you make of this weekend's games, mate? Outside of the obvious ones.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting weekend overall. I mean, there's definitely some of the obvious ones, and listen, we'll get to Newcastle, but I think honestly, looking at who I was probably most impressed with this weekend, it was probably Manchester United, and it kills me to say that, but if you look at the last, if you look at just the last probably 6 or 7 league games, what team is performing better right now?
I know
it's really hard because it's really like. That manager really had no clue what he was doing, Amorim, because you see the same players. He's just getting so much out of these guys, and he's picking the right chances to bring in Sesko, starting Sesko in certain situations. I think Cunha's really, really he was great at Wolves, but I think we're really seeing him take that next step and playing with some better players around him. And then I think we'll talk about it, and I think it's one of your other questions, but Bruno Fernandes has been outrageous this season with just the chances he's creating. And just, I think he was a part of almost every single goal. That first header by, Casemiro, the goal to Cunha, like he is just making things happen. And one of the things I love about his game is just everything is just like, get me the ball and we're going to attack. We're just going to, every time, first time he gets the ball, he's turning, he's going right towards the goal. And he's going to Mbeumo, he's going to Cunha, he's going to Diallo. He's finding different ways to get, through the defense, but he's always just creating opportunities and chances. And I think that's probably the thing that stood out to me the most, because Aston Villa, we all know, has been a top 4, top 5 team all season. Now they're on the downswing a little bit, but they still have really good players. They have good defenders. They have a good team, and Man United they dog walked them this weekend.
I have a question for you. I don't know if this, and I'm hoping if anyone's listening to this as well, the same thing as well. If you're in Mulligan's or you're in and around and you're watching us on the telly, don't forget to tag us in any pictures that you say. Get us. I just love seeing pictures of Wiz on the telly.
Oh, I love it.
With the hair and everything else about it. Like, you can't get away from it. But here's a question for you about Man United and about certain things in general. Like, I look at Michael Carrick and what he's done with them. And I look at Martin O'Neill at Celtic. Now, listen, there's an obvious age difference. But do you think there's something to be said for just someone coming in and managing the players? Because that's what it looks like to me. Listen, no question Carrick knows what he's talking about. He's a cracking player. But is there something to be said with just people coming in and putting an arm around a player, motivating them to do well? These players at Man United that were dead and buried 2 or 3 months ago now are all of a sudden running the show. And everyone seems to be contributing. The feel-good factor's back at Old Trafford. Like, do you think there's something to be said for, say, a management side of it now? Because everyone's getting drawn into this head coach row. And you've seen what's happening at Liverpool, and we've got a head coach. I think sometimes maybe they're just concentrating too much on football and not enough on the person.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think even you saw it not even in English football, but I think Thierry Henry made a good point when, like, Real Madrid fired Xabi Alonso. And I think everyone was pretty shocked by that, because it's like they weren't even doing that bad. They've been doing well, but it's just he could not manage those stars. And I think you have to find that healthy balance where it's like you have that control, but you also have that relationship with your players. And I think they talked about how Carlo Ancelotti was one of the best at this, where he had his standards. He had he'd get on these guys, but he also knew when to put an arm around them, and he knew how to kind of how each guy, how they, basically how to get the most out of them. I think when, I was in a locker room when I played football, I'm the type of guy, you could yell, you could scream at me, I could take anything. And I could take any coaching, any feedback, just do it. But then there's some guys you yell and scream at them and you may lose them. And they may just shut down and they may actually play worse. And I just think that some of these guys, they're trying so hard to have their system in place, like we saw with Amorim, and they're just not getting the most out of these players. And I think you're almost turning some of these guys into robots. And they're out there, and they're just not the way that they want to play football. And it's just not the way that they were born and bred to play football. And they're just so stuck to these systems and so stuck to this game plan. And it's just kind of taken away from some of these guys. You see them out there, they're not reacting well to it.
Well, that's as well, isn't it? That's the thing, the reaction of it. And I think Rossini is like this at Chelsea. There's no question Rossini knows what he's talking about, but is he the type of person that's going to give you a kick up the arse, and not only give you the kick up the arse, but you're going to take the kick up the arse and use it for the better of the team or the better of yourself? And I just don't know. And it just strikes me as, listen, there's something going on. There's something going on in the background, but I just think that these players coming into Man United are unbelievable. I've just had a comment as well, I'm not going to put it on the screen, and I know it's one of the Flynns in Mulligan's asking me if I'm going to put an Arsenal shirt on the wall. The answer is no, because I don't have one. So you can get stuffed. It's not happening. I only have a Spurs one on because I'm scared of me missus kicking me head in after this past weekend. That'll be coming down fast enough anyway.
Now, speaking of Spurs, though, why haven't they made that call? They've seen it work. They've seen it work with United. Why are they not called one of their former legends? Or why haven't they brought in someone just galvanize the team. And it's like, hey, let's not get relegated because that's going to be bad for everyone. And
I saw they interviewed Harry Redknapp in a car park the other day, which like they always do. He's always in a car park or he's got his head sticking out the window of a car.
I think he was at the racetrack, right?
Yeah, definitely at Cheltenham, wasn't he? But like, I mean, I give Tudor a lot of credit because I think by all accounts he's come out and said to them, listen, what are you going to do? You can get. I think he's the right guy, just at the wrong time. Like I think if they do survive and they do keep him, I think he's got half a chance of doing something all right because he does seem like the type of fella that will go after people and try and get a response. And when Spurs get all those players back, I think they'll be in a good spot. I just can't see Spurs going down. I know everyone's saying it's going to be the unthinkable, but I don't think they'll go. And I don't think deep down, I know Arsenal fans will probably disagree with me. And I've got a little bit of stake in the Spurs game, obviously, by virtue of the wedding ring. But it's like Everton. You don't want them to go down. You want the rivalry. You want that to be good. I don't know. Maybe people from down south are just more ruthless, but I just think that he'll do okay. I think he'll get it done. I just don't think some of these coaches that are coming in aren't getting the response. And if you want to go to Liverpool now, I think that's exactly what's happening with Arne Slot now. I don't think he's getting I don't think he's got the ability to get a response. But
it's been a tough watch. And, I don't know what. I think I'd love to know what his infatuation is with Gakpo, playing him over Ekitike. Like, I bet you the Liverpool fans saw the lineup card. They're like, okay, Rio's on the left. Okay, Slot, let's see what you got. And then it's like, wait, Gakpo's playing striker? Like, he's playing the number 9? What has he shown that he can play that position?
He's got to have pictures of Arne Slot in a pair of suspenders or something, and high heels and suspenders. One of these crazy Dutch things. But I don't know. Like, why you're not... I think, and we'll get to this as well, we're going to talk about this because both our teams have got a bit of a European stake this week. But I don't understand how playing on a Sunday and then going midweek, you're going to play all these other players. Why not play the guy who's arguably one of the better players this season in Ekitike? But I don't get it. And I just... My thing is, I don't think he's got the man management skills. Again, another one of these people. No question he knows about football. Sure he does. Probably got lucky last season with a team that was ready to go anyway and go and win the league. But he's just shown now, especially in the last couple of weeks, that he's just not getting over the line. Like that stat the other day, like Liverpool... If Liverpool hadn't they've given a record amount of goals in the season in the last, after the 90th minute or in around the 90th minute. The last time they did that was 2010. That's when Roy Hodgson was the manager, and we all know how that turned out. I just don't know if we'd have got those points, we'd have had 60 points now, and you'd have been like, right, nice one. Liverpool are nailed on. Concentrate on the Champions League. Concentrate on the FA Cup. We're in the Champions League next year and we're done. But now, all of a sudden, we're scrambling. And I don't know if you've seen some of our games towards the end of the season. We've got some tasty games, I think, at times, and it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, one thing that I thought was really interesting was what were your thoughts towards like the last 15, 20 minutes of that game? I mean, it just seemed like a goal was coming. Like the amount of times that Spurs were able to just take the ball from their side of the pitch and just go, and how many chances and opportunities they were getting. It's like, that's not what you typically see in Liverpool teams. I think even last year, it was hard to get the ball past their midfield. And I just feel like that's not the same. I feel like guys they went through them like Swiss cheese at the end there. You look at some of those chances that Spurs were getting, it's like, it was only a matter of time before a goal happened. And I just think you see Javi Simon's just sitting in the midfield, no one marking him. He's getting the ball, and he just turns. He sees there's no one there, and he's going 30 yards with the ball without anyone getting even close to him. Yeah. I think the experiment with Szoboszlai at right back needs to end. He's clearly your best offensive player right now, and he's wasting his time playing right back. He's wasting his time out there, just running all over the field, and he's playing out of position. And I think McAllister hasn't been great this year either. I think that the midfield has been the big issues. I think everyone talked about the defense, but I think the midfield right now is kind of a shit show.
Well, the thing is as well, you look at the last goal. You see how far away Szoboszlai was, but that's the problem. We can't take. There's a stat out there. I haven't got it on to put on the screen, but there's a stat out there in the first half. The amount of chances we created and should have taken care of, and we didn't. And then second half, it wasn't as bad. But then you're still panicking because you're only a goal behind. So you look at, there's a lot of times in the game where we were going 4, 5, maybe even 6 at times, players just flying forward. And the final ball was terrible.
Yeah.
Like there was one at the end where Ekitike's gone through, Chiesa's gone screaming around the outside of him, and he's played the ball behind him.
Yes, I saw that because he had Salah on the other side too.
Yeah. So they're just not effective enough. And I know that's not Arne Slot's fault, but there's got to be a little bit of something somewhere where we can be a bit more on the front foot earlier and take teams down. Like when we score that first goal, you're like, nice one. And then you think it's going to go from there, but it just never does. And then, you know, people are getting stretched and Szoboszlai's playing right back still. That experiment's still going. And
you know, it's interesting. It was very similar against Galatasaray, too. That first 15, 20 minutes, you guys were all over them and probably should have had 2 goals. But just that final touch or that final pass, it's like, they just are not meshing well. And that's where I think you bring a lot of new guys into a team. You got Wirtz in there. You had Isak for a little bit, Ekitike. Like, they just haven't meshed it all. Like, Salah was gone for AFCON for a while. They just can't get on the same page at all like they have in the last 6, 7 seasons with you guys. Like, it was just you had those 3 guys up front, and they were just all in tune. And then even with Diaz and Jota, like, these guys, like, they'd run, they'd press, but they final touch like a Luis Diaz. He just had so much more from that left wing position. And obviously Salah was significantly a better player than last season than he has been this year. That drop
I think that's why Rio.
Really big.
I think that's why Rio's been effective is because he's unpredictable. Yeah. Whereas you know what Gakpo's going to do, you know what Salah's going to do, and I think. But you've also got to look at it. I think the players are tired because there's not been a ton of rotation. So I'm not, and again, it's not an excuse because we're just not good enough, but. There's no, and for him to come out at the end of the game, and you said to me before we came on, like, what's the problem? What's going wrong? Why can't we do it? And I'm like, I have no idea. But when the players are saying I have no idea, because the players work on things all week, don't they? They work on things in training, they talk about things, and then all of a sudden you come to a Sunday. So typically what happens is if you worked on something all week and then it doesn't work in the game, you know why it hasn't worked. You're like, yeah, we didn't do this or we didn't do this. For players to come out at the end of the game and say, I don't know. You're like, well, all right, well, if you don't know, then how the hell are we supposed to know? And then where's that message coming from? And I just think with Slot now, I think it's definitely a point of, when. It's not if now.
And the fans are starting to turn on him now, too, right? I heard the boos were pretty bad at the end of that game.
And fans, there's been fans turning on him since November, but at the same time, there's been people like me who've gone, let's just see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. But it's getting to the point now where, okay, can we get over the line in 5th place and then call a season a bust and call it what it is, depending on what happens in the Cups? And then we'll move on to next season, and maybe he gets the boot in the season. It'd be great. He'll get booted just during the World Cup, so it'll kind of go under the radar. But I think another reason, and again, I'm probably sticking my neck out here a little bit, is these sporting directors have got to be on the hook for it. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have got to be on the hook for this. Like, in November, when it looked like it was going to be a problem, what was the first thing they did? They held one of these roundtables and publicly backed him. And then these guys don't seem to have, they have got too much of an ego to turn around and say, listen, we made a mistake. Like, it's not worked. But they won't do that. So that's what probably pisses me off a little bit more, is the fact that a coach is a coach. But if you're hanging your hat on this guy and then not having the balls to turn around and say you made a mistake, I think the fans could handle that. If someone turned around and said, listen, we made a mistake here. He should have gone. We didn't let him go. Now he's going. But nobody's saying anything. So the fans are getting pissed off because they feel like they're being led down down the path by the people above them. But, oh, God, let's stop talking about Liverpool's doing me head in. Because if Packwood would be here all day. I'm surprised he's not even burst into the comments at this point.
Yeah, I think like one point against Wolves and Spurs. That's
not good enough.
Right,
it's not good enough, is it?
No.
It's not good enough. I'll tell you what was good enough. Anthony Gordon's goal against Chelsea.
Oh. It was actually what's actually hilarious about that. So we talked about Liam Rossigna before. So they actually broke it down. Thierry Henry broke down that goal, and one of the I think is one of the Garnacho or one of them just allows a pass. He allows a pass in to Livramento, and he kind of gets right through that front line. And you can see Rossigna gets pissed. He turns around to his assistant coach. He throws his hands up in the air. Backs turn. Livramento throws an amazing through ball pass to Joe Willock, and Rossigna's got his back turned. He's not even watching what's going on, and literally just a tap in for Gordon, and that was it. That's all you needed. That was the only goal of the game. Chelsea, I mean, they had opportunities in the game, but
should have had a penalty.
I don't think so. Listen, we played them a couple weeks ago, and when Anthony Gordon got ran over. And there was no penalty there, so sorry, no penalty.
Do you think that's what happens when you circle around the ref at the beginning of a game?
I think so. I think that was also the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I think the whole honoring of the ball and the huddle, like it's an NFL game. Like, what are we doing? It's like
is that in the middle of the pitch? I've never seen that before with them. Do they do that in the center circle?
They just started doing it recently. Just started doing it. It's to honor the ball. It's to honor the game. This is men. It's just all like, no one respects this guy, and that's another thing. That's another team too, where they've got too many players. Like every week, there's new guys in there. You're like, where did that guy come from? And it's like they've got quality guys. They've got obviously the Cole Palmers, the João Pedros, the Caicedos. They've got guys, but I thought it was a great game by Newcastle. One of those things too where Anthony Gordon, I think he's going to get picked for England because obviously I think they don't have too many options out on the left wing, but he can also play striker. He has that final touch. He does it in big games. He can take penalties. That's another thing too that I think you want to have guys there that can take pens. And I just think that his ability to press, he ran that entire game. By the end, he was just exhausted. Now, also, he didn't play the majority of, and there was, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but he's another guy. You just see him getting all pissed off after because Shearer and all these guys are like, if I was sick and I said I could play 30 minutes, you'd have to take me off the field. How are you not playing in a Champions League game against Barcelona? And he came out and said it wasn't my decision. It was the health and the physios, and just that's the whole thing with these sporting directors and these physios. They're the ones making these calls. And it's like, how is Anthony Gordon able to play? You're saying he's sick, but why is he on the bench? Why is he around all the other players? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, oh, he didn't train, so this, we're playing Barcelona. We need our best guys out there. And it showed against Chelsea. He ran all over the pitch. We also didn't have Tonali in that game, too, so I was really impressed with Newcastle this week. Massive win. Gives us a chance. I want European football, even top 6, top 5, that's not out of question right now, looking at the way some of those teams are playing.
And the way, like you say, you put a run together in this league, you win 3 or 4 games on the spin, and you're right in there. Should be getting Bruno back probably in April. That's a big one.
That's been a big miss not having him out there. But I mean, to go to Chelsea without Tonali, without Bruno, I don't even think Joe Linton started the game. Jacob Ramsey had an awesome game. They actually played Voltemata a little bit into the midfield a little bit. I really love when they go with the front 3 with Gordon, Barnes, and Murphy. Murphy's got the best crosses. Barnes he's just like a racehorse out there. Just get him the ball. And
it's a dynamic front 3, isn't it? It's a dynamic front 3. That a lot of movement in there.
And their press, they were on Chelsea every time. And that guy Sanchez, him, when you put a little pressure on him, he starts to freak out a little bit. And they just played a great game, and it was a solid win. We haven't gotten too many clean sheets on the road this season, so that's a big win for Chelsea, for Newcastle against Chelsea. And listen, those are the teams we're fighting for European points, and we needed a win like that. So I think it's great momentum going into. You got the Sunderland derby coming up too, so
might have to repost that clip.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's getting a checkup from the coppers. We've got
definitely need to repost that one.
Repost that one.
But yeah, it was a great win.
No, it was. It was decent. It was decent. We'll get to Arsenal now because I know Flynn wants us to get to Arsenal. He's probably sat at the bar, nursing his bottle of Magners, and he's waiting for us to start talking about Arsenal. He actually did, because these idiots can't use YouTube chat. I'm getting texts on the side here, and he asked me, was I the guy that Tudor thought was Arne Slot yesterday? Yeah, I was at Anfield yesterday in my bubble jacket on the line, and I've flown back today to Jersey to get on this show.
That guy Tudor clearly had no idea.
Oh, mate, he didn't know. To be fair, though, even at the end, he showed the same Bella again. And by the way, who was he? Was he the ref? Was he a ref's assistant?
I think he was a ref's assistant or something. I don't know.
He did look like Slot. And again, you know what? Flynn, I'll have this one. All baldies look the same, do they? All baldies look the same. Unbelievable.
Seriously.
Unbelievable.
That was something else. So obviously, I think the biggest thing coming out of that game is 16-year-old Max Dowman, I think youngest player ever in Premier League history to score a goal. Now, a question I have for you, a little bit of a empty net goal there. Pickford went up to try and obviously score. Does it take a little bit of the shine off? Is there an asterisk? That's all I'm going to ask.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no in this context. I'm not going to blow it out of proportion and say he's the next big thing. Like Gary Lineker's already saying that this kid, along with Rio at Liverpool, should be leading the line for England in years to come. But the reality is he came on, he was heavily involved in the first goal, and then he scores that goal at the end. And those goals at the end are great. If you're in the ground watching that as an Arsenal fan,
amazing.
And everyone goes up for the corner, you're panicking, and then all of a sudden the pressure's off, and he's a young kid, and he goes round, Cratty kicks the corner flag, and it's great. So, no, I'm not. I think it's okay, but at the same time, I'm not. I wouldn't be getting crazy out of hand on him just yet, but I do think it's done now. I do think the league's done now.
Yeah, and I think so as well. I think they've just been too consistent. They've got too strong of a team. They can withstand being in all. I think they're in all four competitions still. So I think they've got just good players all around. If they get an injury, they've got a next man up, kind of thing going on there. And there's guys that we looked at the beginning of this year. Like I think if you would have asked at the beginning of the season, like Miles Lewis-Skelly, he's going to be England's left back. Well, he's not even scratching the team right now. And you've got some of these guys on their squad, and it's just like, whew. Haven't seen Odegaard in forever. Has it mattered? No, we have Eze. If Saka goes down, we got Madueke. If we got Trossard, Martinelli, they've just got guys at all positions. And now they're getting Havertz. They got Kai Havertz back.
Yeah.
I know Gyökeres got a goal in this game. He's the tap-in merchant, but listen, he does it really well. And that was a big goal. So
I know.
Also, that was all set up by Max Dowman too. He had a nice little left-footed little cross right into the box, right off Nkapie, right over to Gyökeres for a little tap in there. So the kid also set one up too. Yeah,
no, true. All right, we'll go one more, just because I want to talk about Mavropanos getting absolutely walloped in the face.
Have you seen the still frame shot of it?
Yeah, it's like half the ball is in his head.
Oh my gosh! And he scored in it too. He scored in that game. He had an amazing goal in that game. I mean, but what a letdown. I mean, I think I sent over to you before, like, what's the biggest letdown on the weekend? City, Liverpool, or Chelsea? I think it's got to be Man City.
I think it's City because we've been so inconsistent. So you can't not as much as disappointment around us. There's no surprise. But for City, that's it now. That was it. Like it's out of their hands now. They have to win. They have to win the game in hand. Then they have to beat Arsenal, and then hope somebody else beats Arsenal. And I think the only other team that's playing them is, I don't even know. There's another team that's higher up that's playing them, but I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But still, like it's done. There's no way. Like Arsenal, the way they're playing, they should win the league now. Should be done.
Now, I have a question for you because we were in the bar on Saturday watching together with Packwood. Did you see that? Did you see any of the City West Ham game?
I saw the last. I'd say I probably saw most of the second half.
Because I was trying to. The Bernardo Silva goal, I thought he was just being cheeky, and he was actually tried to do that and meant to do that. Everyone else said, "Oh no, he was trying to cross it. It just the way he hit the ball just just happened to go in. I think I was probably wrong, but I didn't know if you had seen that and had an opinion on it.
I don't know. I'm going to say this again, and Packwood's going to call me. I've scored a goal like that before. And I can
We
tell
need to
you
get
now
some
I did it.
videotape.
Mate, I
some of these
know.
goals.
Like I get validated that like I did actually score goals once. No one believes me, but I know for a fact that I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm trying to put across.
But we're like arguing in Cork City, just like, no, you don't understand. He's got skill. Like, just the dumbest conversation ever. But no, I think that's pretty. I mean, big point for West Ham. I mean, they need to get any point they can get right now. But I think that's one of those scenarios there where it's like, geez, every time City needs to get like just keep this race tight at all, and they just fumble it every single time. It must be driving Pep crazy.
It must be so frustrating. I like the fact that Pep Linders is the one on the line as well, because he used to be at Liverpool, and he's the one that balls it on Saturday as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
All right. The bottom half of the table pretty much stayed the same this week. West Ham got a point. Tottenham got a point. Forest dropped into the bottom three. But I don't know. The way that the games are going, we probably pick that up next week because we've got a bit of an international break, so we'll have more time to talk about it. But we'll move on to the next thing. I've got the question, though. I forgot about I said 5 minutes. It's been about 25 minutes. Which two teams did Arsenal not beat in the Invincible season? Do you want to hazard a guess? The Invincible season was what, 02-03?
02-03. So I'm going to say, was Chelsea one of them?
No.
Oh.
There's a random one and an obvious one.
I guess around that time, Man United, it's got to be.
Okay. Do you want me to throw it up there, or you got 5 seconds? Think about random teams that season. Suppose I don't know if you were watching footy back then.
Yeah, maybe I was probably in 8th grade.
So it's actually
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
I would not have gotten Portsmouth.
Portsmouth and Man United. They drew both games home and away.
Wow.
Home and away. All right, before we go to the next one. Yeah. Before we go to the next one, we've got a couple of things to talk about, and this will only be like 5 minutes or so anyway. All right. 2 players to score Premier League hat-tricks with 3-headed goals. So basically 3 headers in a game. 2 players have done it. Name them. And it's not as obvious as you think, but when you see the answers, you'll be like, oh. But yeah. All right. I'll do it again. 2 players who've scored Premier League hat-tricks with 3-headed goals. Name them. All right. Okay, so do we want to talk about Chelsea getting done £10.75 million today?
I know you did a little bit of research into this.
I did. I plugged it into my friends at ChatGPT, which I use quite a bit sometimes. As long as you give them the right context, they usually spit out, as long as you're polite to the robots as well, so they don't come after you when when Skynet comes and all the Terminators start showing up. So they basically got done £10.75 million for financial irregularities. I think it was payments of £47.5 million to 12 different people, either individuals or financial entities. And I think it was in like 2008, I believe, or maybe a little bit before that.
Yeah, I think it was from 2011 to 2018 was the time period.
Yeah, and is that what it was, 11 till 18? And then what's happened is they've been fined £10.75 million, and everyone is fuming because the whole thing about, well, why have they not been docked points? Which was the first thing that I said. And again, as a Liverpool fan, I'm scrambling for everything that I can get hold of this season. But according to my friends at ChatGPT, I compared it to Everton, because when Everton got done 10 points and it got appealed down to 6, that was against the Premier League financial fair play. Like, Everton was spending to gain an advantage, according to this. And what they're saying is Chelsea didn't do that because what they did was paying agents on the side, and that was a violation of UEFA and FA policies. But that doesn't come to fine. That doesn't come to point deductions. That comes to fines. But again, it's Chelsea have done it for years and years and years. I think the only reason they got away with it, based on what I'm reading, and this isn't all ChatGPT, this is on different outlets as well, is the fact that when Todd Bowley's group bought Chelsea in 2022, they were aware of it and disclosed it straight away. So then that's come. But it's a bit of a kick in the balls for the likes of Everton because they got done points.
Yeah, it just seems like, and I saw also because they self-reported like there was supposed to be I think a 2-year ban.
They've got it's been a suspended sentence, which is bollocks because they're never going to get that, are they?
No, and that would kill. That would really. I mean, not that they've got enough players on their team. I don't think they need to be signing anyone else, but they also are one of those teams that they like to wheel and deal. They like to sell guys to get money too. I think they think we sign all these young players to 8-year deals and lock them up, and then we can sell them all around the world. And I think that's something that it's just frustrating to see because, like, as a team like Newcastle, like, we've got owners that would love to do stuff like this, love to spend money. And it's like, if I'm these owners and I'm looking at this, it's like, oh, this is only going to cost us $10 million. That doesn't sound that bad. Why don't we do it? Like, why don't we go make some of these moves and make some of these? And it's just, I just feel like there's teams that just play by different rules. And, we talked about it earlier as well, but, like, with Manchester City, what's going to happen with them? Because, like, we keep on hearing about these charges, and it's like another team gets a fine and their stuff gets settled. What is taking so long with Manchester City's ruling?
The thing with City, I think they're just tying it up in the courts, aren't they? They can throw money at stuff. But I think, and the sad thing is, like, the likes of Everton, Forest, Leicester now, they're getting done points. But I think the difference between that one and this one is the whatever, it doesn't clash with the Premier League's rules. But for Man City, I think that's going to be a massive precedent, isn't it? Whatever happens to them is going to set the standard for everything. And but again, like you said, when is it going to happen? When are we going to hear? Are we going to wake up one morning and it's just been through the courts and this is what happens? Or are we going to be waiting for years and years and years? But anyway, very frustrating. I'm sure there's Everton fans everywhere that are fuming. On top of everything else, they got to fume about no Saturday games and such. But the other thing I had, and we talked about at the beginning, and we kind of alluded to it a little bit, has this fella got to be in the conversation for Premier League Player of the Year?
Absolutely. I think we saw it. I think he's on 16 assists this year. I think
at the moment he's on 7 goals, 16 assists. Which is a record, I think, for Man United in a season.
Yeah. And also, too, the chances he's creating. Not just in open play, but also he takes every corner. He's taking every free kick. Like, the chances that he's creating in games is just, the first goal, the goal by Casemiro on the weekend, the header, was a beautiful, beautiful cross from him. And then you just see the ball that Cunha he had, too. And it just every time he gets the ball, he just wants to go forward. Like I said earlier, like, it really is impressive. And, I know there's other guys out there that have had really solid seasons, but, like, could you throw a Haaland in there? I know he's going to lead the league in goals, but, like, I don't know. Like, I watched that West Ham game. He's not really doing much out there. But Bruno Fernandes is involved in every aspect of the success that you've seen from Man United. He's a part of it all. Yeah. You heard rumors of them, like, trying to sell him. He's not going anywhere. He is clearly their best player. You finally are starting to see what it's like when he's playing with real players like Cunha and Mbeumo, and you can see just he's making everyone better around him. I think getting Manu in that midfield too freed him up to play in his actual position in that 10 role. They had him playing. Amorim had him playing in this central midfielder position, just defending the whole time, and it's not who he is. And he's been really impressive this year. I still think Semenyo's up there for me as one of the top players this season with his goals, and I think he's got 4 or 5 assists as well this season. But Bruno Fernandes definitely got to be in the conversation.
Has to be. I mean, you're going to be looking at Declan Rice, aren't they? If they win the league as well, they're going to be looking at him.
Yeah, Declan Rice. I mean, honestly, like, you look at it every week, and it's like, who's scoring for Arsenal? It's like they're defenders. It's you look at some of these guys every week, and it's like, oh my gosh, like. But no, I think obviously Bruno's just really had a great season. I think it kills me to say it too, because how bad they were in the first part of the year, and you can just see him. But listen, him, I think everyone looked at him and they said, hey, bad body language. He's yelling at everything. But maybe he was just trying to get the most out of his players and most out of his teammates. And, like, guys, what are we doing out here? But, I think that's where it's been nice is Carrick's come in and he's kind of let Bruno be that manager on the field. You go back and watch some of those games, and he's like, get me the ball, and we'll make something happen. And I think that's just what's really changed things around for them.
No, he has. He's definitely staking a case, isn't he? We've been very pro Man United and pro Arsenal tonight.
I know. Did you see that your boy with the hair had gotten a Paddy Power commercial? I saw he's really.
He's hamming it up now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm half hoping he's going to be like that Hawk Tour girl. Like once he gets his head shaved, he's going to disappear.
He'll do some crypto scam or something soon, and they'll get him.
All right. So before we move on to the last part, and I understand you've got a cracking story about the Champions League from last week. But before we do that, all right, the question was 2 players to score Premier League hat-tricks with 3-headed goals. You got to name them both. And I'll give you a clue. Both of them have played for Newcastle. So how much of a Newcastle fan are you?
Is Andy Cole one of them?
No.
Ooh.
I'm waiting for someone to burst into the chat here, but they're not going to. I'm getting text messages, but not.
Are we live up on YouTube? Have we checked?
We are definitely there. We're definitely there.
That's good.
Because lads are watching, but they're commenting on via text. Because they're not, I can imagine that tech savvy, overly tech savvy. Anyway, okay. I know. I'm going to give it to you though. I'm going to give it to you. Answer is Duncan Ferguson and Solomon Rondon.
Wow.
Actually, ironically, both of them played for Everton as well. So I wonder if Packwood would have got that one.
Probably not.
Nah, probably not. He's nice. He's corporate, isn't he? He goes corporate, so he won't know. He won't know. All right, okay. So before we get to the predictions, you have to we've got Liverpool and Newcastle have got tough games this week in Europe. Liverpool have got to come back from this 1-0 absolute horror show in Turkey, but what is going on? I need Newcastle story.
I'm going to hold the mic up for this one because I got to set the scene for this one. So. Champions League games kicking off around 4:00. I usually work, in the city Wednesdays and Thursdays. So, I'm in the office. The game. I'm literally walking up and down the streets in New York City because I want to watch this. I don't want to take the 20-minute path ride, miss it. So, I'm literally I'm like, hey, I'm just going to walk around, just go for a walk around New York City and just watch this game on my phone. Because I should have just gone to a bar somewhere. But, that area I was in, I just didn't see anything. I really didn't. I had drinks the night before. I really didn't want to drink again. And basically, I'm literally just pacing around, just waiting. I get Harvey Barnes' goal. I think it was, in the 83rd minute or something like that. Great goal. I'm like, this is awesome. We're up 1-0. We really need. I would love to be up by one or probably 2 goals going into Barcelona is kind of what you need. But all right, we'll go up 1-0. Hopefully, we just hold on to this. So I go into the path. I'm like, all right, let me see. Okay, it says 7 minutes till next train. Okay, I let that train go by. I'm sitting there, 93rd minute. So they say there's gonna be 4 minutes. I'd say that it's about 93 minutes and 40 seconds. We get a free kick. I'm like, okay, I'm getting on this path. They're not going to – maybe it'll be another 40, 50 seconds. But there really shouldn't because there's been no goals. There's been nothing during extra time. No time – not really any time wasting. So it's 93, 40 seconds. I get on the path. I lose service. I swear to you, I get off the path. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go check, make sure nothing crazy happened. I open up the ESPN app, 1-1. I'm like, how did they give up a goal in the 1 minute I didn't watch the game? How? And I literally then pull up. All right, I got to see what happened. Malik Thau, a minute later, gave up a penalty to Danny Olmo. Just blatant penalty, kicks him right in the leg. Lamine Yamal scores a goal, blown whistle. 1-1 to 1-1 going to Barcelona. You can't make it up. I literally said in my head too, man, nothing's gonna happen, right? But no, I let the game. I didn't watch it to the last second. And that was the problem. And that's something I'd give out as a PSA. Don't get on the path. Just sit there. Wait for the next train. Wait till you hear that whistle. Because I literally, I thought there was no shot there was going to be much time left. We literally had a free kick with, there should be only 20 seconds left. It's literally everything had to go wrong for them to do this. And there's nothing worse than that, than getting off and seeing 1-1 Barcelona-Newcastle. So...
If that, my friend, is football in a nutshell.
It's
second
cruel.
You think you've got it, no, you haven't. Once it'll take it away from you. It'll take it away from you.
I legitimately lost service at 93 minutes and 40 seconds, and they said 4 minutes of stoppage time.
It's
so
like
now
going
it's
to
1-1
the toilet
going.
And missing a goal.
Yeah, 1-1 going into Barcelona now. They're going to be going crazy there because all I've seen all week is just videos of Lewis Hall putting Lamine Yamal in his back pocket the entire game. What do you think that kid's going to be? That kid's going to be on fire this week.
You never know. There's been many a game played in that stadium where you think you're done, and then all of a sudden you pull something out your ass. So you never know. I wonder
almost if there is a mentality thing where, because we did play well in that game. We honestly we dominated them. Joe Linton, that midfield, they had. We played really, really well against them. We probably should have had more goals than just one. But I know that the way that we've played this year, whenever we've had a lead, whenever we've been up, we play defensive, we don't play our game, and we sit back. And I think we would have gone in 1-0 against Barcelona, and we probably would have lost 3-1, 4-1. We would have sat back, done nothing, just prayed they didn't scored, and they would have just destroyed us. I think going in 1-1, it's hey, this is just, it's kind of it's 0-0. We're restarting this over. No one's got any advantage. Well, obviously they have the advantage of being at home in the new camp. That's a pretty big advantage, so I'll take that back. But, then we get a win against Chelsea on the road. That gives you a little bit of momentum. Tonali, we sat him that game, so he's going to be fully healthy, ready to roll. Joe Linton didn't start that game. I think I kind of like what I saw, but it's going to be very interesting to see what the starting lineup's going to be. I'm hoping they go with Gordon up front, Murphy on the right wing, Barnes on the left. I don't know what they're going to do in the midfield, but Jacob Ramsey's been playing really well. Hopefully Tonali will be back in there. I think you got to play Joe Linton. Defenders, I think having Livramento back. I mean, we saw in the goal against Chelsea. So we're going to have both of our left and right backs will be in there. Trippier's old ass. Grab some bench this week.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
and then going into this weekend, let's see what happens. Exactly. Same with Liverpool. Let's see what happens. At least Galatasaray fans won't be there ripping seats out. All right. So there's only 8 games this week because of the Carabao Cup final. So
wait, before we jump into that, what are your thoughts about Galatasaray? I mean, down 1-0.
I think we'll get through.
You think you'll get through?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll get through.
I'm just hoping not to see Gakpo in the starting lineup.
Well, that's another one of the texts I got. Why did Gakpo dress like Michael Jackson with his white rubber glove on? Why did he stay on and Rio came off? I can't. You know what? In the words of Soberslay, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Predictions for this week: 8 games. City, Arsenal are in the cup final on Sunday. So Palace and Wolves get the weekend off. First game is Bournemouth, Man United on Friday night at Bournemouth.
That's a good game. I like that. I like that. That's be right in the middle of March Madness on Friday afternoon.
Oh, it's a great weekend.
I like that.
It's a great weekend.
You know what? I am gonna go with Man United. Let's start working to this kid cutting that hair. You know?
Yeah, I'm going Man United as well. All right, Brighton at home to Liverpool Saturday morning. Early Saturday morning.
Honestly, I'm gonna go Brighton. They got no game during the week. You guys got a big one against Galatasaray. I'm gonna go Brighton in that one.
I gone draw, but I'm not overly optimistic. 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Ugh. In England. All right, Fulham at home to Burnley.
I'm gonna go Fulham in that one.
Yeah, me too, Fulham.
Even though they have not played great their last 2.
The Ev are playing Chelsea.
I'm gonna go draw on that one.
Yeah, I've gone draw as well.
Chelsea's got a tough one. They got boat raced by PSG, and then they got to play them in the second leg this week.
They did. 4 o'clock on Saturday. This is not a bad one as well for the pub on Saturday between March Madness and Premier League. It's a long day. I might try and make an appearance later in the day. Leeds at home to Brentford, 4 p.m. Saturday.
Interesting. I'm going to go Leeds because they're at home.
I'm going Leeds as well. Oh, the big one.
Brentford looked pretty. They Wolves gave them everything today.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Newcastle, Sunderland.
Newcastle, baby. We got momentum. At home in the derby. This is a little return going to be coming to Sunderland. They've been on a downward spiral recently, and I think they're going to get a nice serving of humble pie.
They really did that. They really have been, actually. All right, Villa, West Ham.
I'm going to go draw on this one. Villa have not been playing well, and West Ham has been giving teams some trouble.
Yeah, I've gone Villa, but we'll see. And then Spurs, Forest. Absolutely massive game, this. At Spurs.
Ooh. I'm going to go... Wow, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go Spurs.
I'm going to go draw on that one.
I'm going to go Spurs just because I feel like Tudor got a little bit of something out of them this week, so we'll see what happens.
I'll get Van de Ven back in, but they're another team. They got a Champions League game this week.
That's it. You never know, do you? All right, next week is going to be an international break, so we may go Championship next week. We might have to get Al back in, see if we can snag Al in.
Definitely recap the Champions League. We'll definitely recap some of the Championship, obviously, some of the games from the previous weekend. But, yeah, maybe it's good timing for a little bit of an international break.
Exactly, yeah. It might be the move. I
did see Reece James went down with an injury, hamstring, so he's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. So that is a big loss, not just for Chelsea, but also I don't know who's going to be playing. I think Livramento is back healthy. He's probably going to get the nod. But I don't want him playing. I don't want him playing too much, but he probably needs the game work. So
that's true. Well, we'll find out, mate. We'll think about it for next week. All things to think about.
Maybe both parents will be on this time.
Yeah, well, if mum's all right, maybe she'll come on next week. We'll see. We'll see. All right, lads. Thanks very much for watching. Again, as always, like and subscribe if you can, and we'll see you next week.
Tip your bartenders.
And always tip your bartenders, yeah. Have a good one. All best.
Ah, that was good.
I love that. Thanks for watching. Lovely, awesome. Snowy stuff.